Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon. My name is Tenille Clarke, and I am a representative from the Public Relations Association of Trinidad and Tobago. And here at PRATT, we are very much committed to ensuring that communications is always at the top of our agenda. And today, for our very first installment of our leadership series, we're going to be discussing a topic that is very much on the minds of everyone across Trinidad and Tobago, and that is the national budget, which was presented by the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago by the Honorable Minister Colm Imbert on October 2nd. With me today, I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming the Territory Tax Leader from PwC, Mr. Keith Robinson. Very nice to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time. So Keith actually has a very extensive portfolio as it relates to dealing with the economy, economics, taxes, finances. He has over 19 years experience working in Trinidad and Tobago on the tax circuit. He brings a very diverse and comprehensive understanding to his clients. So you have a lot of experience as it relates to taxes and getting to the nitty-gritty of that information, to making sure that the information is ready for the public and for your clients to consume.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Tenille, and thank you to your organization, the Public Relations Association of Trinidad and Tobago, for giving us this opportunity. PricewaterhouseCoopers really values the opportunity to share information and to break down the national budget. Yes. Because, you know, for most people, they experience a 2.5 hour, 3 hour long speech.
Yes.
And we really need to do these kinds of sessions to bring the facts out of the budget.
Yes.
To the level of all of the constituents of the country.
Yes. I mean, a 45 or 50 page document can be very, very daunting for the average man or average woman, average consumer to really, really understand what affects them. And it's really, really important, as our president, Nicole Duke Westfield, has said on many occasions, we really, really need to take these opportunities by collaborating in this manner to ensure that the information is palatable, it's easily accessed, and that everyone is duly informed, and we all moved through this current terrain, this current economic terrain, with the sense of knowledge and confidence with the information that is readily available to us. So I'm just going to get right into it. The budget 411. How would you describe this year's budget?
This year's budget, the Minister of Finance was in something of a dilemma.
Yes.
And I suppose it's not a position that any finance professional would have liked to be in.
Right.
Because he was facing an economy where the prices of our major product, oil and gas, have been on the decline, maybe with a little bit of catch-up in recent months, but yes, still not in the place where we would like it to be. Oil production declining as well. We have a foreign exchange challenge that yes, he has to deal with, and the question of the exchange, the Trinidad and Tobago exchange yes, rate for the TT dollar versus the US dollar. So he was in a situation where there was perhaps very little different than he could have done. Because basically he gets his revenue out of taxation,
of course,
and coming out of the budget, it seemed as if it was tax.
Yes, more tax. Yes. And it's important that you mentioned that we do receive or we do get the money from the revenue of taxation, and that's something that is really, really important, and I want to touch on that a little bit later on. However, I wanted to speak a little bit about what information people can pull from this. So for the benefit of our consumers or those who would be tuning in right now, we want to understand what are the measures, what may be the specific measures that they should be looking out for that will affect their household? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to a household responsibility, it comes down to individual responsibilities, and then collectively we come together and we trot on from there. So what are the key points that you could have pulled from the budget that you think that everyone should know about?
I think certainly at the very start it would be the removal of the fuel subsidy
Yes.
on the gasoline and on the diesel, because that would have a far-reaching implication. Almost every household will be impacted
Yes.
by the removal of that subsidy. Then we can get to the increase in tax rates on
Yes.
the banks in particular, going to 35%. Which may as well have an impact on us as consumers using the services of banks.
Yes.
Because we might find ourselves having to pay more for those services, perhaps.
Yes.
In addition to that, the corporation tax rate has also been regularized, we might say. It's now at 30%.
Right.
So that's another impact that the wider community ought to be aware of. Then there are some initiatives that would have basically changed in respect of the hybrid motor vehicles, for example,
Yes.
where the incentives were removed.
Yes.
In respect of some of the vehicles, the minister said perhaps because of abuse. And then, you know, we also had some impact on the oil and gas sector, where the minister felt he wasn't getting sufficient out of that sector,
Yes.
particularly now.
Support.
And so he has put a royalty,
Yes.
or we might want to say he is harmonizing the royalty, because it already exists in respect of some products, but he has now put it across the board on all products, because his intention is that even now when they are paying less taxes on their profits, he wants to get something for Trinidad and Tobago from this very important sector.
Right, because I remember in the budget he did mention that the companies were in the process for looking for sources of oil, but because they weren't able to find such, it was very difficult for them to pay these royalties, and I guess that's where the lack of harmonization happened. So do you believe that it's a case now where, you know, with regards to the oil companies, are they now being asked to share the burden? Is that what is happening essentially?
Yeah, absolutely. The burden is being shared very widely across the economy, right, so that the banks have been asked to share, companies generally have been asked to share with their increasing tax rates, the oil and gas companies with their royalties, the gaming industry, with the increase in the taxes in that industry.
Yeah.
So the sharing is very broad across the economy.
Definitely. You also mentioned the motor vehicles, and that was an increase by 25% on vehicles exceeding 599 cc but not exceeding 1999 cc. The other motor related increase was the inspection fee that moved from $165 to $300, a difference of about $135. But when you break it down to the household by household economy, how do you think those little changes, what some may see as very minor changes, could be very, very impactful changes on the economy of households?
Yeah, absolutely. All of these things add up.
Yes.
You know, the increase in that inspection fee, yes, as you say, it might appear to be small, but it adds up when you put it together with an increase in the fuel prices, etc.
Definitely.